and the in-game leader, because FalleN joins us now from the player out. Well done, FalleN. First objective for the major is complete. You've made the quarterfinals.
Hello, everyone. Yes, when you go for tournaments, it's always very difficult to get out of group stage, and we are one of the teams that are very consistent on doing that. So every time we do it, we are proud of it already. So looking forward for the playoffs now. It's a whole different tournament. Goes for the BO3s now. You can pick maps that the other team doesn't play too much, so it's a very different story.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get a day off tomorrow to rest and think about what you're going to do. How difficult is it playing Immortals? You know, same country, many of you have played together in the past, and you know each other really well. Is it more difficult, or is it easier?
I think you have a little bit of extra spicy thing in the air because you're playing some guys that are very close to you. And of course, you never want to lose for them. Even if you love them, we're always together and always grouping up in whatever tournament. You just don't want to lose to them. And I think it's the same for them. They don't want to lose for us. So it's very interesting. And about their gameplay, I think it's very difficult to play Immortals because the way they play, you can't really read too much what they're doing because it's based too much on their individual skills sometimes. And this map, I don't think it was the best example for that, but on other encounters we had, I think it's very interesting to play then. It's very different from playing other teams, so it's always difficult to play Immortals. Yeah, absolutely. Natu and FalleN are here. I know they've got questions for you as well.
Yeah, I was going to just ask, because I have experience of playing, in domestic battles. How hard is it for you to prepare, going down? I know you do a preparation a lot, so how does it work for you in this kind of games? Because I know you can easily out-mind game yourself. You're overthinking things and your opponent at the same time. They can be thinking, if we do one little thing that makes them think we're doing this, if you know what I mean, right? So how does it work for you?
Yeah, so basically for this matchup, we knew it would be overpass or cobblestone, and we actually knew that if we didn't veto nuke, we could force one of those maps, but they would have the option to play nuke. I personally think they wouldn't, but I don't want to try it on the major again, so we didn't go for it. And we were actually pretty okay on playing overpass and cobblestone as well, so we didn't have to do it. And about the gameplay itself, I have a good idea on what they will do on overpass because they played twice on this tournament, right? So when they're playing a tournament, it's very difficult to change entirely your game because you just use it in a very important matchup against other teams. So when you are able to watch those games, you have an idea on what they're going to do. But as it is Immortals, I think it's very difficult to read them because I don't know if knowing them, I don't know if what they did was planned or not. So I kind of think, are they going to do this again? I don't know. But we had some specific execute on B for their setup. They like to play very passive on B. Yeah. And we had some mollies there. We just created this strategy before the game because we knew that it could be useful against them, and I think it paid off because we won 2 rounds with that. Yeah, it felt to me that sometimes, at least, that they were maybe having too much respect for you guys in the rounds that you won, with low buys, with half buys. You kind of want to give the room, but then again, it felt like they gave you too much of it. I think it's part because it's a major match. You're fighting to become a legend, and you don't want to be the guy on the server who is ruining the entire matchup, right? And even if they have a lot of good to do a lot of plays by themselves, I think they were a little bit of they're not trying too much to do those things that normally they try, and I think that hurt them a little bit because that's how they play, right? Yeah. But on the other hand, I think we had a great match. We won some important clutches, and I think Phelps was outstanding for us. He did an amazing job. He was almost covering up every single time they're trying to execute something. Phelps were there to get some kills. Coach Zero and Taco were pretty solid on B. I had a very shit game, but it happens.
No comment. FalleN?
No, I actually have a question about yesterday's game. Normally, I actually think of SK being one of the best teams when it comes to vetoes, and I just wanted to know the thought process about going into that game versus Big, right? Yeah, you both played Inferno twice, but the way that I'm going to call it the NIP syndrome, because that's exactly what happened for ESL1, where they ended up playing Cash 3 times in a row, right? Whereas, like, considering, and I know that you guys are really strong on 5 or 6 maps, what was the thought process in letting them go with Inferno?
We would like to know if they would jump. That's why we got Inferno. I'm kidding. We decided to go for Inferno because we could play a lot of other maps. I think they have a pretty good Cash. We have played some practice against them. So Cash was a map we didn't want to play. Nuke was a map that both teams doesn't play as well. And it was, personally, we thought that our Inferno could be better than them. And we tried to use the same process we did against Immortals. They played twice. We can check what they're doing. We can check how they play. And we had a pretty good idea on what they would do in Inferno. And being honest, we should have won that match. I personally didn't have a good match. Like some crucial moments where I failed that would make a lot of difference. I can mention, for example, the round where we were winning an eco 3v2. And I didn't help Fur died, then I shouldn't have done anything, to just wait for Taco, and then I died, and then Taco lost the 2v1, so that was my fault. And then there was another round when we were 4v3, we were almost close to winning the game. And then I killed the guy on B. Instead of just running with Code Zero to kill the other one, which was Legla, I tried to smoke CT, Code Zero tried to molly side, and then he gets 2 kills, and then they get back into the game. So if it wasn't for those 2 rounds, I think we would have won Inferno. So it was interesting to play then. But on the other hand, I think it's a good question because they play Inferno very differently. They don't fight mid, they don't use their nades on the beginning of the rounds. So I think it was a good preparation to face teams that plays the same way, which normally you don't see teams playing that way. So we have a very different idea on how to play then again if it comes to that.
All right, thank you very much for joining us. Just pass on our congratulations to the rest of the team as well on your quarterfinal, and also to Phelps because he's also equalled the world record at a major for 1 game without overtime of 37 kills. So congratulations to him as well. We'll see you in the quarterfinals.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for cheering.
Thanks, FalleN.
Let's go for the playoffs. Thank you.